Hey everyone, it's Shayna from Build Your Personal Yoga Business. And today I'd like to talk about how to create and teach very popular yoga classes. I can say for myself, and I'm sure for many of you out there, that we desire to have yoga classes, to teach yoga classes that gradually grow over time. I don't know about you, but I live here in LA, and there are some yoga classes where literally they'll be full because of the teacher. Usually people love the teacher and the class literally gets sold out. And how does that happen? How does a yoga teacher actually build loyalty among students? So it's not random that your class happens to be full, but people actually want to be there for you. So I'm going to describe to you the top 4 things you can incorporate into your yoga teaching, whether you're a beginner yoga teacher, whether you've been teaching for decades, that in my experience of having grown a loyal following of students over the past 9 years of teaching yoga in various parts of the world, every part I've been living in and teaching in, I have had consistent growth in the amount of loyal students that come back and keep coming back to my yoga classes. 4 tips that worked for me that hopefully can work for you in terms of teaching really popular yoga classes that people come back to again and again. Numero uno. Number 1, you must somehow learn to remember your students' names. Remember names. If you can't read my handwriting, that's because it's really bad. Remember your students' names. So, how do you remember names? I don't know, there's so many different ways. Repeat it 3 times when you meet them, ask them again. Ask people after class. This is what I always do. If I'm not sure, I have some people sometimes that were coming to my class for months on end. I didn't know their name, and so I will create an invite at the end of class. I'll formulate an actual invitation. Hey, you guys, if you come to my class a lot and you haven't introduced yourselves or we don't know each other, please come and introduce yourselves after class. If I forgot somebody's name, right? Oh gosh, this person's been coming forever and I should know their name, but I forgot it because I'm teaching a lot of yoga and there's a lot of names to remember. I will actually go up to that person and say, hey, I forgot your name. Tell me again. So as a yoga teacher, it's important to just kind of get over that, oh, but I should know it, but I shouldn't. Just go and ask again. It's very direct and it works every time. And over time, you'll find your own way. It's going to be unique to you. You'll find your own way to actually remember your students' names, okay? And not only remembering their names, but saying their names out loud. So this is like A under 1. Say names. I don't know about you, but when my yoga teacher calls on me, not calls on me, but good job, Shayna, or, oh, move your foot a little bit to the right, Shayna. On a very subconscious level, you're actually creating a deeper connection with your students by addressing them through their name. They feel acknowledged. They feel valued. And nobody wants anything more than to feel like they exist. So remember names and then say names, okay? Try not to just focus on one person though. Try to get at least 5 to 10 people in the class and keep generating new names, especially for new people to your classes. Okay, numero dos. Number 2 way to create and teach popular yoga classes. Number 2 is hands-on assists. Hands-on assists. I call them assists. I don't call them adjustments because I also think that on a deeper level, if you call them adjustments, ooh, I need to be adjusted. I'm not okay as I am. I need to be fixed. Never fix a posture, never adjust a posture, but you can assist. So gentle hands-on assists. In my opinion, you do not need to have any type of deep yoga training on how to properly assist someone, because my recommendation for you, unless of course you're more versed in your teaching, is to just be gentle. If you have enough, if you're a yoga teacher, you know proper alignment for the most part. And if you see someone that's perhaps having some difficulty, gently put your hands on them, okay? Encourage their hips or their shoulders, but with a very sense of gentleness, because the body, as you know, has a wisdom of its own. And when you can just place your hands are healing, place your hands on another person and they'll feel, again, acknowledged. So you want to connect with your students as much as possible. Part of it is through words and verbalizing their names, and another one is through assists, putting your hands on people. Don't be afraid to touch people in yoga. Don't be too touchy-feely, but have that intention of love through your hands, and that's what's going to come through. Okay? So we have remembering people's names, hands-on assists, and then number 3, holding space. This is interesting. Holding space. So as a yoga teacher, especially if you're a newer yoga teacher, you may have 10, 15, 20, 30 people coming to your classes depending on where you're teaching. And they're coming, so what I've noticed, I ask my students all these questions because I want to know. I want to know what students want. A lot of students tend to be a little bit intimidated by their yoga teachers because we're like the one that's going to be guiding these people for an hour at least of their lives to like literally tell people what to do with their bodies and how to breathe. That's a big deal. So as a yoga teacher, whether you got to fake it till you become it, or you really just got to meditate on yourself and learn how to cultivate the confidence in order to be able to hold space, to really understand that by staying small or feeling like, ooh, I don't know enough, or oh, am I not teaching well, or laughing at yourself, or whatever it is, step up your game. You're here to hold space for a bunch of people to have an experience. So the idea is to truly shine your light, is to truly become a vehicle of teaching, of giving, of love. So holding space is interesting. People are trusting you with their bodies and their breath. So ask for injuries. Ask people if they have injuries. I know it's for some of you are like, oh yeah, every yoga teacher asks, does anybody have injuries? I'm going to put injuries as a little subcategory of number 3. Ask people if they have injuries. And you can ask them, hey, does anybody in the class have injuries? If so, let me know. If you'd like for me to come over to you privately, I will as well. If you look around the room, the people who don't want you to come over privately are just going to shout it out. Otherwise, if you're aware, look at your audience, you'll be able to know, walk over to them, ask them. In the beginning of my teaching, if somebody had an injury that I knew nothing about, because I'm not a doctor, I have yoga teacher training, but it doesn't mean that you need to know every single thing about every single thing. So if somebody has an injury that I'm not sure about, I'm not going to tell somebody something that I'm not sure about. I'm going to say, hey, listen, if I'm not sure, right? I'm unfamiliar with that injury, but what I can tell you is that if something that I teach causes pain, a sharp shooting sensation, back off, and I'm going to offer a lot of modifications. That's it. If something doesn't work for you, don't do it. You don't have to try to fix, or especially unless you know. If you know how to, of course, don't overbend your knee, or you're going to put too much pressure on the joint if someone's had a knee surgery or something of that nature. But if you're not sure, let them know you don't know, but it's their practice, so to listen to their body. But it's the asking about injuries, again, it makes you as a teacher more legitimately, truthfully concerned about your students. Care. Your students want to know that you care for you. It's not just an exercise class, even if your students think they're there just for exercise. Because I'll tell you one thing, in the beginning of my yoga practice, I thought I was just there to stretch. And all of a sudden, I was like, oh my gosh, my teacher is my guru, and I need to do this forever. So again, this is all about human nature. So ask questions, get involved, ask about injuries. That's it. Keep it simple, but ask the question. Okay? So we've got remember names, hands-on assist, holding space, asking for injuries. And numero 4, do we have enough room over here? Yeah, we have enough room. Number 4 is unique. I'm just going to write the word unique. Make it your own. What's your little flair? And we talk about this more in the ebook and the upcoming course, but right here, this is just like a little tip of the iceberg of, in your yoga classes, what's the icing on the cake? Literally. Gluten-free cake, obviously, but what's the icing on your cake? So, for example, I love essential oils. So while people are in Shavasana, I'll choose an essential oil. It's different every time, and I'll go around and I don't press really hard on people's shoulders, because for some people that actually hurts, and they're meditating. They're in Shavasana. So I'm not going to go and press. If that's your jam, go press away. But my jam is just very gentle, above the eyebrows. I tap their third eye. I tap the crown of their head, just as a to deepen them into their meditation. Sometimes I see people's eyes fluttering while they're in Shavasana with their eyes closed. Their eyes are fluttering. And I'll literally just gently put that lavender oil on their eyes and everything settles. That's my little unique flair. I used to actually, when I had more time on my hands, I used to actually make raw vegan treats, like little almond and date balls, and I'd bring them to my classes. That's also when I was teaching much smaller classes when I started. So about 5 to 10 people. Didn't take me a while. I would leave one at their mat. Wow, right? So anything that's unique about you that you can actually offer. So think about what you can give to your students. It can be reading a quote. It can be playing an instrument. Anything that's unique and creative, your own little personal touch. So people are going to say, wow, like I get this from this teacher. I don't get it from others. So that's it. The 4 keys to teaching popular yoga classes so you can feel nourished and fulfilled and ultimately serve more people, because we all need more yoga. That's my opinion. Remember names, say the names, put your hands on people, don't be scared. Hold space, own it. You run the room without ego. Hold space, be aware of your students. Don't get too much into your head. Ask for injuries and find your unique icing on your gluten-free cake. Okay? I hope this helps you guys. Stay tuned for more. If you guys have any questions, please respond directly to this video, to this email. However you're receiving this video, respond directly and let me know how I can serve you more on the journey to expanding your yoga business. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.